looking ready.
He's pumped up in that.
I'm just chatting. Hi, good boy. Sean, can I speak with my hat on so the Lord like hold it up? It's my confidence hat.
You sit backwards so we can see your eyes. And you ask Christian.
No, Charlotte, I don't know, like, home. There we go. She'll never know anything I'm doing that. First of all, this speech is rated R for rocking. If you have a problem with obscenity, get the fuck out of the room. But I'm serious. If you take offense to this sort of language, you have been given the choice to leave. After all, that's what this country is founded on. Choice. You have the choice of what you want to eat in the morning, where you can travel to, what you watch and hear, and grades permitting, what school you can attend. We aren't in a private school. This is a public institution. It belongs to us, the students and the taxpayers. The university and the entire country is ultimately governed by the Constitution, which makes me feel completely safe and comfortable talking about such an uncomfortable topic. According to the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, written by James Madison and created on September 25th, 1789, and ratified on December 15th, 1791, quote, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press, end quote. Like if I just ADP statement, the fuck out of the Constitution. But what does the First Amendment really mean? It means the government doesn't have the right to tell us exactly what we can hear, see, and read. This country is based upon rights. We have a right if we flip through the channel and some lady is on a stripper pole and we deem it offensive, we can change the channel. I mean, Lord knows I wouldn't change the station. We are all good judges of what we do and don't want to see. And we have the option to watch and hear what we want to. In fact, in my own personal life, I have learned more about obscene words and acts through riding the school bus in a town of 700 people in the conservative backwoods of Vermont. One case that comes to mind is I was riding the bus home one day. My friend Nathan Wilcox lives like a mile down the road, took out a Shania Twain CD booklet and said, man, Shania Twain sure gives me a boner. And me, being 9 years old and all, had no idea what that meant. So I go home and ask my mom, to which she replies with, that's the father. Her tone up made me know it was not an appropriate word to use on Sunday brunch with the grandparents or in reference towards my 60-year-old fourth grade teacher. Needless to say, I wasn't 100% certain what a boner was for another couple of years. But the point is, the government wasn't involved at all in what I heard. On the day the government consents to what school children hear and see on the school bus is the day I moved to a third world African country. The comedian George Carlin, in one of his most famous bits, said in his live album, What Am I Doing in New Jersey?, released on August 15, 1988, made this extremely good point. Quote, the FCC, an appointed body, not elected, answerable only to the president, decided on its own that radio and television were the only two parts of American life not protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. Why did they decide that? Because they got a letter from a minister in Mississippi, which is actually true, but I'll get that in a second. Anyway, George Carlin continues. Reverend Donald Wildman in Mississippi heard something on the radio that he didn't like. Well, Reverend, did anyone ever tell you there are two knobs on the radio? Of course, I'm sure the Reverend isn't that comfortable with anything that has two knobs on it. But hey, Reverend, there are two knobs on the radio. One that turns the radio off, and the other one changes the station. It's called freedom of choice. End quote. The Reverend that Carlin makes reference to is actually the founder of perhaps the biggest Christian value propaganda machine in the world, the American Family Association, or AFA for short. The AFA has over 2 million supporters in America and claim their main goals to be, according to their website, accessed on 12/20/2011, is the preservation of marriage and family, i.e. anti-gay marriage and pro-conservative family values, decency and morality, like not hearing fuck and shit, or not seeing sexually offensive material on TV, and sanctity of human life, as in the pro-life agenda. The AFA are perhaps the main reason the Federal Communications Commission has become so powerful, which really is too bad, because the founder of the AFA, Reverend Donald Wildman, sincerely believes this, quote, obscene content on television and in movies is a result of the media being controlled by Jews who intentionally place anti-Christian messages and activities into their programs to undermine Christianity, end quote. Yes, the AFA got to start calling for public bans on such obscene shows as Three's Company, Dallas, and perhaps the worst of all, MASH. This country has so many shallow-minded prudes in it. And it really does, and it astounds me. If you haven't noticed by now, I really don't take too much seriously. I believe certain people get so wound up on the use of words that they forget one thing. They are just words. Nobody is holding a gun to your head screaming, you have to listen to this or take offense to someone else doing or saying something when you have the complete choice to change the fucking channel. In fact, if I wanted to, I should have all the rights in the world to call the guy in the back with the green shirt right there a fucker. I warned all that I was going to use this sort of language, much like there are ratings for TV shows and movies that warn you if you take offense to tantalization in them. And notice how I said tantalization, and I didn't say sex, because TV and movies aren't really full of sex. They're full of tantalization. Look up the word for that. This country has, and should always be based upon choice, and that choice is guaranteed to us in the First Amendment of the Constitution. We all don't particularly like to see certain things. So I have no problems with homosexuality. But for instance, whenever there comes a time, a movie or a show where two dudes go to kiss or screw each other, I either A, change the channel real fast, or B, close my goddamn eyes. It's that fucking simple. Whether kids see and learn obscenity from the television or not, they will always learn it anyways. Whether it's on the school bus, the playground, the supermarket, or through media, kids will learn these things anyways. It's an extremely crude idea to say that by censoring the television, we will, quote, save the souls of our children. Ultimate responsibility of when a child learns to be socially and morally acceptable should always lie within how they're raised by their parents, and should not be the responsibility of a babysitter in the U.S. government. Thank you.